Just chilling now. I did my last hard sparring today. Just did some pad work, so feeling good.
Well, Gabe, pleasure to chat with you again. We're talking to you here where you're coming off a win, a really great textbook performance by you. Talk about that win at BTC 25 over Anton.
Yeah, definitely felt good to not just win, but win pretty emphatically. Fairly flawless performance. Went in there, implemented my game plan, did what I wanted to do, and I was fortunate to have a lot of supporters there as well. Teammates, friends, family. So it was an awesome night. And yeah, I'm looking to just kind of carry that momentum into this one I have coming up.
I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more friends and family and, of course, teammates at this event here, BTC 26, with it being in Niagara.
Yes, definitely.
You're taking on James Clarke. You guys were supposed to fight at BTC 9 just before the pandemic. That fight fell through. Is this a fight, first of all, you've wanted to have back and get an opportunity to get it, James, for over the last 5 years?
Yeah, this is definitely a fight I've wanted really since we were first supposed to fight each other. Um, Obviously COVID hit and a lot, some fights and a lot of things happened in between, but he's stayed on my radar the entire time. It's a matchup I've wanted. It's a matchup I'm confident in, and I can't wait to get my hands on him come November 16th.
How much do you feel you've leveled up as a fighter since the first time you guys are supposed to fight back in at BTC 9 and now going to BTC 26? Like, are you a completely different person now, Gabe, since then?
Yeah, it's really, you just said it right there, like different person. Like it's really night and day. Like I can't even really compare myself to the man I was then. I mean, obviously certain elements are going to be there, my grit and my will to win. But if you're talking about like my skill set, fight IQ, maturity as a fighter, like all these little things, you add. People talk about those 1%, right? You add those little 1% day by day, and I was training the whole time. This whole time I've been training, getting better, and we're just gonna see. Even since the last fight, even since the one where I fought Anton, I feel like I've turned a new chapter. I've added some new wrinkles that you guys are gonna have the pleasure to see on November 16th.
Are you going to keep those a secret until you step in the cage, Gabe?
Yeah, obviously, the fight game will
Yeah, yeah.
give away too much, but I think you guys are going to be in for a treat.
Is there any bad blood between you and James? Because I know after you got your hand raised, I was looking from my seat. I saw James kind of staring you down like Conor McGregor staring Jose Aldo down at UFC 200. Is there any animosity between you two, or is it just a fight to prove to each other that you guys are the best flyweight in Canada?
I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of him as a person. I think he's a little bit cocky, and outside the venue, outside of Children's Arena that same night, he came up to me a little bit backhanded, like he comes to shake my hand, and then he says, like kind of like I thought he was congratulating me. And he's like, "Hey, you're not gonna retire again, are you? You and me, um, November, let's go, like let's do it." And then he's got his boy, what's the guy, Oswald, with him, one of his teammates, who's he's there like chiming in, like, "Oh, we'll see if you're a man of your word." And it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like I think he was probably a little bit jealous to see me there having a good night, and he wanted to kind of take some of my shine away. So I'm gonna have no issue, punching that smirk off his face once we step in there.
So easily to say, there's been no motivation to get into training camp for this fight. Like you have your eyes set to kind of prove something to James here.
Definitely, definitely. It's I want to say it's, look, it's not so much personal because of James. It's more of a like a MJ, like a Michael Jordan. You know,
Right.
it became personal. Like that competitor in me. is extra motivated to, when somebody thinks they can beat me, and he's talking about he's got his seasons mixed up. This kid's online putting hashtag soul season, buddy, samurai season. I'm gonna
Okay, I like that, Gabe. I like that a lot.
yeah
As well, obviously, you're now representing Niagara top team. This show's in Niagara, your new adopted home. And the last time BTC was in the Niagara region, you put on a great fight that you came out the winner against Matt Dawson. So this region's been very good to you.
yeah 100%. So looking to keep that streak going, and especially this one, again, like being so close to where I call home now, where I'm training. I think it's I'm going to feed off of that energy, and again, I'm going to rise to the occasion.
Awesome. Well, Josh is back. I'll ask Josh, do you have anything for Gabe?
Been listening. I've been listening. Now, man, I think you guys covered everything. One thing, where do you think this fight's gonna play out? Like James is more so known to be a wrestler, right? That's kind of what he tends to do in all of his fights.
Yeah.
I would say your grappling is a very high level. Obviously, you showed that in your last one, and you're working on your striking, improving there. Where do you see this fight play out? And if it does go to the ground, if he does take you down, do you think you have the advantage once you get down there?
Yeah, 100%. I think, well, to answer your first question there, I think it is going to play out in a lot of grappling, a lot of clinch work. I feel like James really does kind of play into my style. Like he comes forward a little bit reckless, and I expect him to try to close the distance and shoot on me. So I'll be ready for that. If he does take me down, I feel like it's going to be very hard for him to keep me down. I can bounce back up. I have attacks off my back, so I'm more than comfortable anywhere the fight goes. But really, I'm looking to just beat him everywhere the fight goes.
And would you say this would be like the biggest win of your career? Get this W here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think James is maybe ranked number three on topology. Like most sites would have him, top three or at least five in the country at flyweight. So, this is a nice win here. If I beat James, I think I line myself up for something even bigger after that. So that's what I'm looking to do.
Could you tell fight fans what makes this fight a must see?
Fight fans, man, you're gonna want to be in your seats for this one. Don't blink. It's going to be all action from the opening bell. I'm coming in there. I'm looking for the finish. I'm coming to do damage. It's going to be a real exciting fight. So, like the event says, rumble in the rapids. It's going to be a lot of rumble in this one. Let's go.
Beautiful. And then you guys are both tend to be more of grapplers. Do you think your grappling will cancel each other out and it might end up being more of a striking battle?
No, I don't believe that. I believe I'm the superior grappler, and if he ends up grappling with me, he's going to find out real soon that I'm going to be able to control him there.
Last thing for me, Gabe, obviously you see yourself winning this fight, but what's your path to victory?
Very similar to what you saw last time. I'm gonna make my presence known in that cage. I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna take the center of the cage. If he wants to back up, I'm gonna back him all the way to the cage. If he wants to meet me there, he can meet me there. But I'm gonna be in his face, and I'm not going anywhere.
Well, Gabe, pleasure to chat with you. Can't wait to see you and James throw down inside the BTC cage in about a week.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Take care,
Thank
bro.
you. Have a good one. Well, James, pleasure to chat with you again, and can't wait to see you step back into the BTC cage for the first time since BTC 6 back in 2019. How's training camp been going?
Yeah, it's been going amazing, man. So down here in New Mexico, training at Jackson Wing. Obviously, I've done most of my camp with all my guys back home, and just super grateful for everybody. But yeah, finished it out here, high altitude too. So yeah, getting a lot of good work in.
How'd the opportunity come for you to go out to Jackson Wink, which is obviously one of the legendary gyms in mixed martial arts?
Well, obviously, I've known you for years, and Thailand's my
Yep.
second home for sure. But can't exactly get on a plane and go 22 hours. Plus, I know how I feel when I get back, and whereas something like this, something new. I just looked up best gyms basically within like certain amount that have like a dorm and everything there, and it all just worked out that it was high altitude, and hopefully obviously I've never had a problem with my gas tank, but you know I'm sure could be improved. Who knows? Yeah, I'm always a man in the mirror anyway, so I've definitely done that this camp. I've had a great camp.
Well, James, obviously you're taking on Gabe Sagman. This is a fight that was supposed to happen 4 years ago, 5 years ago at BTC 9 in Kitchener. It doesn't happen. Now that it's happening, how excited are you that this fight's happening? And is there any animosity between you and Gabe?
No, I think we've both getting a little older now, so maybe he held on to a bit. I don't know, but either way, when this fight came about, I shook hands with him, and obviously it's I let him have his thing and stuff, but I see him in the parking lot, and I couldn't help myself, but I said, like fucking, well, you always want to know, especially when you've like already had a camp for a guy, like deep down uh, for a while there, like my career kind of skyrocketed and his kind of went down the shitter there. But I respect the shit out of Gabe. I know what he brings to the table. I think he brings better wrestling than that kid Tommy Morrison, which obviously everybody knows I'm not getting a rematch there anytime soon unless we're in the UFC. But that's the game plan as always. But yeah, I respect the shit out of Gabe. One thing though, obviously, back in the day, it was a bit. He called me the paper champ. Well, technically, I vacated it and I never defended it. And even though I'm not getting the belt and we don't get to go 5 rounds, you know, I, titles don't mean shit regardless. But either way, you talk some shit. Call me the paper champ. There ain't no belts on the line. It's nice to just, soul season. I want to take his soul. That's always the game plan. I don't think many guys are really the same after they fight me, and if they do, they definitely know they got into a fight. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. I think we have similar styles. I think he even strikes a little bit more, showcases it a bit more in his fights, but I think I hit a lot harder, and I think he can take a hit a lot better. Like old Rocky said there, it's not about how hard you get hit, it's about how hard you can get hit. And I think he's retired already once before. So I think I'm just going to show him the right door, and I think he's going to take it. Yeah, not to say that I don't plan on wrestling. Obviously, everybody who knows me knows I can't help myself. And yeah, he I got a good guillotine too. But tell you one thing, it puts you on your back quite a bit too. And I got a real good guillotine defense. So yeah, I think Gabe is the type of guy that's going to allow me to put on a show though. Like I respect him, but 5 years in the making, and we're gonna fuck around and find out.
Well, you saw Gabe get his first win in a snap of 3 fight losing streak back at BTC 25. Saw you kind of stare him down from the outside inside the cage like McGregor did Jose Aldo at UFC 200. What'd you think of Gabe's performance to get that win at BTC 25?
Yeah, like I respect the shit out of his opponent, Anton. Actually, I fought him back in amateur days too, so like I fought all these guys. And I dominated them. But obviously that was back then, and who knows where it would have been even if me and Gabe fought 5 years ago. I can tell you one thing: I haven't just got better on paper. I've gotten a lot better since then. So you know, I just think it's going to come down to who's more of a dog, and when you lock two dogs in there, you're going to find out. So I think he's already kind of showed me a lot of I think mental game's a big part of it. But anyway, we shook hands after his fight in the parking lot, and he agreed to fight. And then I told Woodrow to send me the contract like a week later. Like the biggest thing for me is I've went guys that have kind of retired and they can come back and beat guys like Anton and stuff, but not somebody like me who wants it as bad as I can breathe, as the saying goes. So yeah, I think he's gonna bring it, and I'm gonna fuck him up.
Nice. Josh, do you have anything for James?
Yeah.
Is this a fight where we could see you use your wrestling more so defensively and showcase more of a striking fight?
Yeah, definitely. I don't necessarily. I wouldn't say that. Like, I don't know if you see my fight in Thailand, but he had a win and one championship. I also had a guy on CFFC that was D2 All American, Aaron Lafarge. All of his fights on LFA. Uh, always says that he beat the LFA champ there, Cody Davis, or former, but either way, right at the top. So real tough wrestlers, like two of those guys that I both beat. And I think they're a lot better than Gabe as far as wrestling, but Gabe has a good guillotine. I know I have a really good jiu-jitsu game as well, obviously. I I think if it does go to the ground, I'm not worried about it. I just plan on, making him take the bad shots. And if I have to out wrestle his ass, I know I can always do that too.
Hey, so what do you think makes this fight a must-see for the fight fans?
Either way, I just think this is Gabe's backyard. I think he's got a few guys. There's a lot of people that believe in us, and I think it's for good reason. But we put a lot of time into this, and we're fuck. I guess I'm a vet now with 10 years in this. So before it, I was like the up and comer and shit, and then now I'm a fucking vet. But yeah. I think Dana White doesn't like 30-year-olds, and he doesn't like flyweights very much. But if I knock Gabe out, I know I got a pretty good shot. And I think I've always been calling 30 is going to be my prime, 30 to 35. And yeah, I think, I always say every next fight's your biggest fight regardless. So, I had big expectations for the Tommy fight, but yeah, I could sit down and cry about it, or I could shut up and get back in there and do what I love. And yeah, 9 days we get to do that.
Last thing for me, James. Obviously, you see yourself winning this fight. What's your path to victory?
I don't know. I've called it out. I remember saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna finish Dave Henry in the first," and that was a 5 round trying to choke his ass out. And, so it's only 3 rounds. I've never been a slow starter, so who knows? I think I'm gonna come out pretty hot. I'm gonna light him up. Maybe I'll knock him out in the first, or maybe a submission. Who knows? We're both good grapplers, but everybody knows it's gonna go there soon enough. So I think I'm gonna put a beating on him regardless, and I'm gonna be going for that finish with everything on the line. So yeah, Niagara Falls, not far from me. Gonna have a lot of friends and family there, and I've fought all over the world, so it's always nice to fight in front of home turf. But I guess he's Niagara Falls too, but I think I'll have just as many people. So even with this Niagara team following, but yeah, I've been waiting a long time to really showcase this next version of myself. So it's gonna be good. I can't wait.
And we can't wait to see you step back inside the BTC cage, James. Pleasure to chat with you. Enjoy your time out there in Albuquerque and safe trip up and have to put on a good show in Niagara Falls in about a week's time.
Right on. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your guys' time.
Thank you, James.